So, are the Cincinnati Bengals the most dangerous team in the AFC? Are the Detroit Lions the most dangerous team in the NFC? And is Andrew St. Clair the most dangerous player in our fantasy league playoffs? Well, we're going to try to find out the answers to those questions and many more as we get you ready for Christmas week. Yes, Christmas is around the corner, and we got all the action coming up right here on Fantasy Football Fever starting right now. And a pleasant good evening to all of you. Welcome to our special Christmas edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Great to have you with us here on this day, December 20th, 2022. Just 5 more days away from Christmas. Hope y'all got your Christmas shopping done. I mean, tick tock, time's running low. So, while you're here watching us on watching us on YouTube and on Twitch, just pull up a chair, give yourself some eggnog, relax, and we're going to have a little party here, a little football party, that is. Tim McClellan here, along with my buddies, Mr. John Flynn and Mr. John Natali. How you guys doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Happy Hanukkah.
Yes, and happy Hanukkah to all of our friends out there. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, and happy, what they say, Festivus to the rest of us.
So, yeah, that's a Friday.
Yeah, that's right there. So it is just after the middle of December. Weather is getting colder. The action is getting hotter. And I say we go ahead and get right into the action here. We, of course, last started our league champion league, that is, and we are going to go ahead and show you the results of the first week. Let's go ahead and get them up on the screen here. All right. Get them up on the screen. Come on now. There we are. Well, as you can see last week, he had the number 1 seed in our league this year, and, well, he proved it once again. Another 150 point. I think I'm going to call him Flynn 150 because I think he scores at least 150 points every single matchup, and this matchup was no different. Mr. Flynn defeated yours truly by a score of 155.58 to 134.94.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Justin Fields showed up. Saquon Barkley had his best game since week 1 in terms of fantasy, and then you had some things going on in your end, like the Broncos defense, Mole and Colt McCoy and the Cardinals, but ultimately wasn't enough at the end, and I got past where I was last year. Last year I was the 1 seed and got pounced out in the first round. So this is already an improvement from last year, but not job's not done yet.
Yeah. Mike Holmgren used to always say, we're not done yet. So I, of course, will be moving down to the consolation bracket. Meanwhile, our good friend took Casey by a score of 153.44 to 138.6, with Mr. Brown, Mr. Cook, and Mr. Prescott each getting some respectable fantasy numbers for Mr. Natali. And we are going to move to our next subject. This man, Andrew St. Clair, he's really been pulling on here last few weeks. He took down Nick Dennison by a score of 152 even to 113.86, thanks to big numbers from Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, and Aaron
Aaron
Jones.
Jones. Yeah, but it's
Aaron
going to be a
Jones, good to see.
yeah, but we got there's going to be a big challenge for Andrew's team. We'll get into that coming up in a little bit for next week.
And in the final matchup right here, we have Dino taking down Alex Putnam by a score of 133.36 to 92.12. Josh Allen, James Conner, and Keenan Allen were the leading scorers. I mean, look at that. Josh Allen, 43.86 fantasy points. Amazing.
Yeah, and we can talk on the flip side what went wrong with Putnam's team. Well, Justin Herbert only got 8 points, which wasn't good enough. Mark Andrews only had 6 points, and then he only got 5 from Aiden Hutchinson as his defensive player. And also, by the way, Kayvon Thibodeau scored 23 fantasy points for whoever had him.
Yeah. 23, that's always a good number here. Meanwhile, down in the consolation ladder, it was Irene over Adam by a score of 141.48 to 137.44. Look at this. Run CMC got some pretty good numbers here. And of course, Irene, one for Mr. Tom Brady, got some points for her.
Hating from the sideline, a flag on the play, like Julio with them.
Mr. Brady pulled through here with 22.58 points. And Latavius Murray, haven't really heard that name much, but he's got 21.2 points for Miss Irene. So now we are going to proceed now to the second round coming up this week. We are down to the final four.
Yeah, and the final four.
Oh boy, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting that the 4 teams that scored the most points in fantasy during the regular season are your 4 semifinalists. So this way you take all your matchups seriously, even during the start of the season.
That's right. It's going to be Mr. Flynn against Mr. Natali. And right now the projected total is 150.9 for Flynn, 128.0 for Natali. And in the other semifinal matchup, it will be Andrew St. Clair against Dino. Dino right now holds the advantage at 143.4 to 117.6.
Yeah, and Andrew does have a big challenge because he's not going to have his quarterback Jalen Hurts for the matchup on Saturday against the Dallas Cowboys, and right now he does not have another quarterback on his roster, so he needs to pick up one for his matchup to have any chance at taking down Dino. And of course, Dino has some really favorable matchups. You look at Josh Allen; he's going up against the Bears. I mean, you saw what Jalen Hurts was able to do against Chicago. I would have to imagine that Josh Allen is going to somewhat duplicate that. Devontae Adams against the Steelers. I think that's going to be a fun one. And then they have James Conner projected at 19.44 points for Arizona against Tampa, which I find very interesting because Tampa's rush defense is generally pretty good, but that story there. And then in regards to my matchup against Natali, now I might be even better because right now I don't have Lamar Jackson in my lineup, but I'll have to see close to the game time how I feel about who to start there. But if Lamar Jackson is available, I'm starting him because he's going up against Atlanta, and then obviously Saquon Barkley, I love his matchup against Minnesota. Austin Eckler, I love his matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. So So I have my options there, and it's crazy that most of the year I was carrying two or three quarterbacks. I mean, I originally started with just Lamar Jackson and Daniel Jones, but then I believe Irene I believe dropped Trevor Lawrence like week 2 or 3, and Trevor Lawrence was the reason why I won in my other league. He had a fantastic performance against the Cowboys on Sunday, but it's gonna be interesting to see if any of your guys can overachieve the tally, because from what I'm seeing is you only have one player that's projected that's close to 20 points, and that's Dalvin Cook. And
I'm definitely making some changes. The lineup you see right now is definitely not the lineup I'm using. It didn't work last time, so I gotta make changes. I was saying to myself prior to my match, in order to beat Flynn, I have to think like Flynn. I gotta see what would Flynn do with this roster I have.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
In order to beat Flynn, I have to think like Flynn.
And I mean, if Stephon Diggs plays, the magic number is 150, because the only time I went really below 150 was when Stephon Diggs was off, and that happened to be the week I lost to Tim. So when Stephon Diggs is in my lineup, I'm 14-0.
Yeah. I made a sneaky pickup last week. I haven't used him yet, but maybe I will. We'll see. I made a sneaky pickup, Jerick McKinnon.
Jerick McKinnon, so for Kansas City, it's going up against Seattle, and but you also will have to see about Kenneth Walker's availability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm using him yet. I haven't decided fully.
Yeah, I mean both McKinnon and Kenneth Walker are playing in the same game, so you can determine then.
Yeah.
What
like I said, the lineup you see now is definitely not going to be the lineup I'm using. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I'm also looking at other places. I have a huge advantage at the tight end position. You have Dulcich. I have Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, like Travis Kelce whoever has him in leagues has had an overwhelming advantage, because Kelce puts up WR1 numbers. He's the only tight end that's capable of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very interesting when we have these semifinal matches now down in the consolation ladder. We're going to have myself going up against Alex Putnam. Right now, I'm advantaged at 131.5. Putnam is at 120.3. Casey will be taking on Nick. Casey is projected at 125.3, and Nick is at 117.5. And then we have down here in the bottom here, we got Adam and Irene again. Irene 135.3 to 123.7 for Adam. So but these are the real matchups to look at. The final four right here. I'm going to be keeping an eye on these matchups here, and then next week is our championship.
All I know is come Thursday, Flynn's going to have an early lead, because I don't have any Thursday games.
So I mean, what I look at is what the projected number is going to be, because that's where I see the lead. So like how the number change. I look at the numbers already compiled though.
Yep. Well, I mean, that is under the assumption you're starting Christian Kirk, but I'm thinking you are.
Yeah. I mean, Christian Kirk. The thing with Christian Kirk is he's got Sauce Gardner this Thursday. So, and another dilemma I'm facing is I also have Deontay Johnson, but Deontay Johnson had 20 points last week because his quarterback was Mitch Trubisky. Now, it looks like Kenny Pickett's going to be starting for Pittsburgh on Saturday night, so chances are he's more likely going to go for he's going to go for George Pickens. So
yeah, he's got no touchdowns still. That's bizarre.
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, all he has is the 2-point conversion. That doesn't count.
I mean, it does count for 2 points though.
True. He doesn't have any physical touchdowns.
Right, absolutely.
I saw something on ESPN that He's the first receiver since I think 1992 with that many yards but no touchdowns.
Yeah. I remember Hakeem Nicks went a full year without a touchdown.
Yeah. He's been targeted in the end zone before, but had a couple drops. So he's had some bad breaks.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how everybody adjusts their rosters as we go into the semifinals.
I wonder who Flynn's more afraid of right now, me or Dino?
Right here.
Interesting.
What do you say?
No, I was saying, I wonder who Flynn's more afraid of right now, me or Dino?
I mean, Dino's been talking smack on my team all years, but I think I'm better than. I'm not worried about Dino.
Yeah, so I guess if you get past me, you think you're probably gonna win then.
Yeah, listen, but hey, you never know.
Yeah. As I say, it's hard to beat the same person 3 times. That part's pretty hard. That's a challenge, being the same person 3 times.
Yeah.
I do not want to be the only person.
The great success that Andrew St. Clair has had.
Yeah. So, yeah, and he started 1-6, and now he's a win away from the championship. And who was the only one that's beaten him since then? Me, of course. I mean, this is the thing with Andrew that Andrew's been great, and if you take out that. If my teams didn't go berserk the 2 times he faced him, but with the 2 times I faced Andrew this year, 1 week I put up 191, the other I put up 190. I mean, it was insane as to how incredible it was. Oh, look at Alex Putnam.
Yeah. He's giving the sweater vibe.
Is he talking about Tally, or is he talking about Flynn? He's talking about me.
Yeah.
Probably you, unless he meant in general.
Well, maybe in general, but
I mean,
we're dressed for the occasion, Alex. So
I mean, what Dolphins fan would say nice sweater to a Cowboy fan?
Hey, it's all right. That's all right. Yeah, don't forget, Alex Putnam. He's got a show, 4 Horsemen of Pigdoms. Apizzle90 channel on YouTube. YouTube.com/Apizzle90, APIZZLE90.
By the way, I'm guest picking on Alex's show tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I think the cat has just been let out of the bag.
What?
I think that was supposed to be a surprise, but there goes the surprise, I guess.
I advertised it, but
that will be very interesting. That will be very interesting to have you with us.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Best shows. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget, YouTube.com/Apizzle90, 4 Horsemen Pick'ems. And I guess it's out. It's the cat's out of the bag right now. Mr. John Flynn will be a guest picker. So that is going to be one awesome show.
Yep. Yeah, I was confirmed in general. He just said that.
Yeah, just saying in general. Well, thank you very much, Alex. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Now let's go ahead and get to our picks for this week. And before we do, we have to check out how we did in our pickups for last week and for the season so far. And I think you might like the colors on this graphic that we have along the season. Let's see here. Let's get the thing up there. Well, last week, wait a minute. Last week was week 15.
Yeah. So what you're seeing on the graphic is what actually happened last week in week 15. So ignore week 14, but it's week 15 because we had 16 games last week.
Okay, so it's actually it's week 15. I did pretty good on my pick'ems last week. Went 12-4 straight up. Natalie went 11-5. Flynn went 10-6. And so for the season on our straight up picks, Flynn still has the edge at 142, 80-2. I am behind with 136 and 2, and Natalia 135, 87-2. Now last week against the spread, the better than I expected.
This was your best week of the year, Tim.
And Flynn went 9-6-1. One and 6. That is our straight up spread right there. So I think y'all may be frozen. Are y'all frozen on you?
I think Tim was frozen. So
yeah, it was like echoey.
Yeah. So I mean, so I think while Tim is waiting, because I think Tim is still trying to unload things here. So I wonder what the quarterbacks that are available in our league for Tim. I know Gardner Minshew is available.
I wouldn't recommend him.
I mean, well, here's the thing with Minshew. I mean, Minshew has great receivers now with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. He's got a great running game, and I think he's going to score more than 18.5 points against Dallas in fantasy.
Yeah, my opinion for him it would be Ryan Tannehill, because they're playing the Texans. They have like the worst defense.
But I just don't think Tannehill's that good anymore, Natalie. I mean, take AJ Brown in that conversation, and he turned into a pumpkin.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to this week's picks for week 16. Let me get the screen up in here. Go. Get that up there. And we actually have 3 days of action. We've got 4 days. Yep, we got 4 days of action this weekend because it's pretty big. And let's go ahead and get things started here. Thursday night football on Prime Video. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars heading to New York to take on the New York Jets. Jaguars coming in at 1.5 point favorites. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. Flynn, let's go ahead and get rolling here. What do you see here?
Yeah, I mean, if this podcast, if this episode aired this morning, this would have been the toughest game of the week to pick. But Mike White is out, and Zach Wilson is starting him once again for the Jets. And if you saw some of the things that went on in the Jet game, like the frustration from Garrett Wilson about Zach Wilson not hitting his targets, and Zach Wilson not stepping out when it mattered the most. That was the type of game where if Mike White was playing, the Jets would have beaten the rebuilding since 1957 Detroit Lions. And unfortunately, that was what the Jets had to deal with. Mike White is still recovering from the rib injury he suffered in the Buffalo game, and now you got a Jaguars team that is suddenly playing really well, and Trevor Lawrence is finally playing at a high level as again. So I think the Jaguars have the better quarterback. I think the offensive line can match up well in the situation. So I'm going to take the Jaguars to win this game 17-13. And I've been looking for ways to pick the Jets. I just couldn't in the situation.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, this one was fairly easy for me.
There, so
okay. Yeah, for me, this one really had no bearing, regardless of who the quarterback is. Yeah, the Jets are falling apart. The Jaguars are surging. So, yeah, I got it. And I think they have the better offensive weapons right now. Yeah, Zay Jones has had he's been hot the last few games, so he's the hot hand right now. So I got to take the Jaguars in this one, 23-20.
All right, so you have the Jaguars winning and covering just like I do.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. All right, Tim, who are you taking in this one?
And I'm making unanimous on both counts. I mean, yeah, Dak Prescott, he was okay, but until overtime, the Cowboys defense, it was like they were on shutdown, and Trevor Lawrence found ways to get through that secondary and brought the Jaguars back to a victory in overtime. Mike White is out, Texans back in. I don't trust Zach Wilson. Jaguars are getting hot now. Give me the Jaguars win and cover. Jaguars 27, Jets 20. Well, we have another horse who wants to say hello.
Lucas.
Got my buddy. We got LC Muscles who just wanted to come in here. What's up, Tiny? How you doing, LC? Yeah, LC Muscles, another one of the horsemen who will be joining us on A Pistols 90s channel. Of course, LC Muscles, big time Steeler fan. We'll get to that game just a little bit here. Thanks for dropping in, LC. See you tomorrow night, huh? Now we're going to go to Saturday. We have a good slate of Christmas Eve games. It's the day before Christmas Eve, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games on Saturday. And we will begin in Chicago. The Bears are being host to no. Let's go. Oh, I'm going at this schedule, and I'm supposed to be looking at this one right here. So we're going to save Chicago. Let's go to Baltimore, where they're home against the Ravens. The Ravens are at home against the Falcons. And the Ravens are 7.5 points favorites in this one. So, Flynn, is that 7.5? Would you say that's a little too much or sound about right?
So, I was wondering whether now Lamar Jackson was on track to play on Saturday, because it is so apparent that the Ravens offense, the Ravens as a team are broken when Lamar Jackson is on the sidelines, not available. We saw it down the stretch last year, and we saw it again against Cleveland, where they were only able to muster 3 points against Cleveland. But it looks like Lamar is coming back. The Falcons just lost to the pathetic Saints, and I think this is going to be where, if Lamar plays, which I'm going to assume is going to happen here, I expect the Ravens to rock and roll in this one. So I'll take the Ravens to win this game 28-17.
Okay, Natalie, I didn't get I didn't get a Flynn score on that one. I think he said he was
He
going with the
28-17.
Ravens to win and cover, right?
Yep.
He has 28-17.
28-17.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. All right, Natalie.
I just want to make that sure.
Yeah.
Go, Natalie.
Yeah. For the Falcons, I do want to bring up something. Yeah, I'm looking at my screen here of the stuff I sent earlier. Here's the Falcons could potentially be eliminated after that game. They're eliminated with a loss plus a Bucks win, or loss plus Bucks tie plus Panthers win. Some weird scenarios, but to make it easier, we'll just say the Falcons are eliminated from the playoffs if they lose and the Bucks win, or if they lose and the Panthers win and the Saints win. For this game, even if Lamar plays, I think it's going to take time for him to ease back into action. He'll probably start off a little slow, but he'll pick up the pace a bit. I mean, my score is very similar to yours. I still have the Ravens winning and covering, but just barely, 28-20. All right, what do you have, Tim?
Uh-huh, 28-20. Well, sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get with Baltimore, but then again, you don't know what you're going to get with Atlanta. But I'll probably never go against Baltimore at home. Hopefully Lamar Jackson is okay, but they still have a defense that's pretty good. Atlanta's pretty much been borderline pretty much all through the season. So I got to take Baltimore. I'm going to get them to win and cover. Give me the Ravens by a score of 33-21. That's my pick for that one. And now down to Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Panthers are going to be at home against the Detroit Lions. The Lions are coming in at 2.5-point spread. So, Flynn, just how dangerous are these Lions?
Everything with the Lions' success, in my opinion, starts with the offensive line. The offensive line has done such a good job protecting Jared Goff and giving him time to locate his wide receivers, whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jameson Williams or DJ Chark or anyone like that. And when you have a strong offensive line, that allows the entire team to play better, and the defense has been coming around as well. And I thought they did a good job at times keeping Zach Wilson in check in the second half and giving the Lions a chance to win that game. And look, I think the Lions have a realistic chance at making the playoffs, which is crazy when you talk about how the Lions started 1-6, but since the start of November, they've been, in my opinion, the best team in the one of the two best teams in the NFC, and so I think the Lions. And now I do appreciate the Panthers' effort, because I do think Steve Wilkes deserves another chance to be a head coach somewhere. So, but I think it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a competitive game. But I have the Lions yanking it out in overtime. Lions 22, Panthers 16 in overtime.
Ooh, interesting.
Ooh,
nice.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, go.
All right. I mean, looking back at my notes from my records, I think I was pretty harsh judging the Lions. And the Lions have already matched the wins that I gave them. I said they were going to go 7-10. Unless they lose out at this point, I'll be correct. But right now they're playing pretty hot. Like Flynn said, they could very well make the playoffs. It's going to be a close one, but the way it stands right now, I think they're in. They could be in as the 7th seed. The Panthers are falling apart. I mean, as tempting as it would be to play the Panthers victory song, I can't do it tonight. Give me the Lions to win and cover 24-21.
Yeah, if the Lions make the playoffs,
Well, all
I mean, I have a question for you guys. If the Lions make the playoffs, is Dan Campbell the coach of the year in the NFL?
Depends who else. Toss up between him and Brian Dable.
I mean, you've got a lot of strong candidates for coach of the year this year. Brian Dable, Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell. I mean, Adam Shine said on the show yesterday that Kevin O'Connell currently has.
I would put Dan Campbell in serious consideration.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you that answer once we know who makes the playoffs for sure.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
So who do you have who's your pick for this one, Tim?
All right, so now coach of the year.
What's that for the Lions Panthers?
Right. I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. Yeah, I think Detroit is they're pretty good right now. They could probably sneak in and maybe get that number 7 seed in the NFC playoffs. And like Natalie said, Carolina's just falling apart. I think they just need to totally implode the whole thing and start from the ground up. Give me the Lions to win and cover 31-20. And a great consideration for Dan Campbell for Coach of the Year, I will say. Now we're going to go to Chicago. They're hosting the Buffalo Bills this week, and the Bills are coming in at huge 8.5-point favorites. Flynn, as far as quarterbacks are concerned, I wouldn't mind watching this one. What do you see here?
I mean, I think it's going to be a fun game as well between two excellent young quarterbacks, with Josh Allen and Justin Fields. But I just think the problem in this game, I think it's the rosters around these two quarterbacks, and it's night and day, and you see why the Bills are 8.5-point favorites on the road in this one, despite seeing a talented quarterback in Justin Fields. But I thought the Bills' offense finally got their mojo back in the game against Miami, and I thought the way the Bills won that game, given that the snowstorm, the crazy snowstorm they thought they had during the game, did not materialize, which benefited Miami significantly. So, but for the Bills to brilliantly manage the game clock, to brilliant execution at the end, and Josh Allen going off in big situations, I think that's signal that the Buffalo Bills are thinking of going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. So I thought that was a very encouraging sign for the Bills, and I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. So for those of you that are starting Josh Allen in fantasy, for those of you starting Justin Fields, like I might, we'll see what happens with Lamar Jackson's injury status in my end on fantasy, but if you definitely want to start both of them, because I think it's going to be a quarterback slugfest. But I think the Bills are gonna cover in the end, because I think they have more talent both on offense and defense. I'll take the Bills to win this game 35-24.
Okay, 35. Okay, so they are covering that one.
35-24, Natalie. What do you got?
Yeah, this game has some implications for the Bills, even though they're already in the playoffs. This is a game where they can clinch the AFC East if they win. So it's that they win or the Dolphins lose. So Bills are.
I think Buffalo's aiming for the 1 seed though.
Absolutely. Yeah, at the very worst, they have the division title. They just need one more win. They're obviously going to get it here. Bears have nothing to play for. Bears are probably trying to tank at this point to maybe get a number 1 or number 2 overall pick in the draft. So Bears are definitely in rebuild mode. So yeah, Bills are going to win this one and cover easily, 27-17.
All right. Well, All right. Give me. Yeah. Buffalo. I think they can clinch the division this week. Chicago. Nothing to play for. Buffalo wins and covers. Give me the Bills 27-19 because, as Chris Berman used to say, no one circles the wagons like the low Bills.
Oh, so he has the Bears covering then. Right?
Yeah, because the Bills would win by 8, and that wouldn't be enough for the Bills to cover.
Ooh.
So that's interesting. All right.
Yeah. Oh, so okay. All right, we got the next matchup. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Cleveland Browns. In Cleveland, and the Browns are 2.5-point favorites. So, Flynn, what you got here?
Yeah, I mean, to me, this was one of the easiest picks of the week here. So I think Cleveland should dominate this game, both offensively and defensively. First, let's start with the defense. And now they weren't facing Lamar Jackson; they were facing Tyler Huntley. But the Browns forced Baltimore into making so many mistakes that they were in there like gangbusters, like. So it's like a blocked field goal, an interception, forcing a fumble, and going on a long scoring drive. That the Browns found a way to win when they were playing their C game offensively, and I think that's gonna be a big deal, big picture going forward, going into next season. And you're gonna kind of need more of those, considering Deshaun Watson's cap hit is gonna go up by $50 million next year. I will get into another quarterback with a similar situation in just a little bit, but I just mean the Saints, they barely beat the Falcons, and I think that's I think that's telling of their season. I think this is a bad matchup, really bad matchup for New Orleans. So not only am I taking the Cleveland Browns to win this game 23-7, Tim, that is my lock of the week.
Wow. Ooh.
Hey. Looks like we got our first lock. We got Mr. Flynn locking up the Cleveland Browns right there.
Yeah.
If this thing will cooperate.
Yeah, you just added up. So, all right, Natalia, what do you got?
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I definitely hope Flynn is wrong on this one, because we have this is the game where we can have completely different perspectives. This is a game where both teams are fighting for their playoff hopes. I'm looking at the scenarios here. Whoever loses is essentially eliminated. New Orleans' scenario is they're out if they lose, plus the Bucs win. Let's see. Cleveland has a loss or a bunch of other mumbo jumbo that I'm not going to get into because it's too long to talk about. Because if they never mind. They're still alive if they win, but if they lose, they lose, they're out. Or I'll just make it simple. If the Ravens win, the Chargers win, and the Dolphins win, they're eliminated as well, regardless. So yeah, both teams want to really fight for their lives here. This is actually kind of a coin flip for me. I don't know why, but somehow I think the Saints offense, I think Kamara might run wild this game for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling. If this is the day for Kamara to have a bounce back, this is it. So call me nuts, call me insane. I'm going with the Saints 28-24.
All right. That's interesting. So you're going opposite of someone who locks in the Cleveland Browns. All right, Tim, you'll decide who has the edge.
That's probably an upset alert, I would imagine.
Yeah, it would, but right now my system has been frozen.
Oh,
all right, yeah, no worries.
So yeah, we have a lock. It seems like we have an upset.
I got to go bold. I got to go for the win and the cover.
I mean, if the Saints win, you cover regardless because they're underdogs.
Yeah, true.
Well, this is not my lock of the week. That'll be coming up later.
Mm-hmm.
But Cleveland is just getting hot. Deshaun Watson has found a new home, and I think he's feeling it just fine. As far as New Orleans is concerned, they're just they're just a shell of what they once were. I'm taking Cleveland big in this game. Give me the same. I'm going big there.
So what's your score? You
now we're going to go to Arrowhead. Kansas City Chiefs bringing in the on Saturday. Have Chiefs points. So the Chiefs have won their 7th straight AFC Western Division championship. So what do you see here, Flynn?
I mean, the Chiefs still have the 1 seed to play for in the AFC. So I think the Chiefs keep on rolling here. This is a bad matchup for Seattle. I mean, Mahomes hasn't faced has had a surprisingly difficult schedule this year, given the defenses he's faced. But right now he's the leader in the clubhouse for league MVP, and he's just been dominating. And I'm obsessed with Mahomes. He's the best in my view, he's the single best quarterback in the NFL. The union between him and Andy Reid is something special that these come only once in a while for around the NFL. But I think Kansas City is going to destroy Seattle. I'll take the Chiefs to win this game 38-24.
Oh. Yeah, solid 14 points there. It's pretty good.
Sounds very good to me.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much what he said. Yeah, the Seahawks are falling apart. Yeah, Seahawks are falling apart. Yeah, Geno Smith has been having a bit of a down game. Especially now with Tyler Lockett being out for a few weeks, that's just going to make things worse. I think he's out for, I want to say, 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. That might be too little too late because he's one of their main guys. So any chance of them making the playoffs have just taken a serious dip. So highly unlikely they're going to make it at this point, barring a miracle. Chiefs are clearly the better team. They're going to double up 30-20.
All right, Tim.
Okay, I did not get Natalie's pick on this one.
Yeah, Kansas 30-20.
Yep, 30-20. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, I didn't get your pick for the Saints and the Browns.
30-20.
Sounds like 38-28.
Yeah, I'm still ahead. Actually, my pick for the Browns and the Saints was Browns 31, Saints 13.
Oh, okay, 31-13.
Okay. All right. So now it's Seattle and Kansas City.
That's right. Kansas City, 7 straight division championships. That is currently the longest active streak of any of the 4 major sports leagues. They're pretty hot. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league. Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league. Got great running backs, got great receivers, got good defense. Seattle is okay, but I think they're still trying to hold on to a slim of a chance to make the NFC playoffs. But as far as this game is concerned, I got Kansas City winning and covering. Give me the Chiefs 34-24. Now let's go to Minnesota. The Vikings are at home. They're taking on the New York Giants, and the Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. Flynn, this seems like an interesting game, I guess.
Yeah, this seems an interesting game because this is one of my 3 upset specials of the week. I'm taking the Giants. I'm taking the Giants to win. I think you look at the big matchup in this game is going to be the Vikings offensive line against the Giants. Suddenly the special defensive line. Kayvon Thibodeau broke out in a big way on Sunday night against Washington, the biggest game the Giants have played in 6 years. He said he showed up and he balled out. He had a strip sack, fumble, touchdown, all in the same play. He was all over the field tackling in the open field. I love what he's done. I think Saquon Barkley got his juju back offensively, as I mentioned earlier before when we talked about our fantasy teams, and I thought Daniel Jones played a really strong game. I'm obsessed with Brian Dable. I'm obsessed with Joe Shane, and none of this happens in my opinion without Joe Shane taking over as a general manager, and I love how he handled the draft and how he let the draft can't come to him. That not reaching for the tackle at 5, waiting to take the tackle at 7. And also remember when Kayvon Thibodeau, the media thought Kayvon Thibodeau's character issues were going to be an issue in New York. Well, apparently they're not, and so I think the Giants have matchups in this game. I think Minnesota's secondary isn't particularly good. I think I think the Giants should be able to run the ball on these guys. And look, I think Justin Jefferson is fantastic, and I think Kirk Cousins is good as well. But I think this game is going to come down to can the Vikings protect Kirk Cousins? And also, by the way, this is the first time in franchise history the Vikings will not be wearing their purple jerseys at home. So, which is crazy for that scenario for them. But so the Giants will be in the regular blue, while the Vikings will be in white. So, but you know who's played in whiteout games before? Saquon Barkley. So I think Saquon Barkley will use the Vikings whiteout against them. The Vikings already have the division locked up. Now it's just a matter of whether they'll be the 2 or 3 seed in the NFC, because they can't be the 1 because they lost to Philadelphia earlier in the year. So I think the Giants go into Minnesota and knock off the Vikings by a score of 27-26.
Wow. I like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, the Giants do have a chance to clinch this week. That is for sure.
Interesting. I think that would qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see if it works here.
Yeah, so I guess the way this looks is Flynn projects the Giants will make the playoffs this week. Because here's the scenario: the Giants clinch a playoff berth with a win plus losses from 2 out of these 3 teams: the Seahawks, the Lions, and the Commanders. A combination of 2 of those teams with a loss.
Yeah, and also if all 3 of them lose and the Giants win, the Giants can be no worse than the 6th seed.
Right, that's true. Yeah, this one was really hard for me to do. I mean, as much as I want the Giants to clinch this week, I unfortunately think it's gonna wait. They're gonna have to wait till the following week when they play the Colts. Yeah, because while I have 2 of those teams losing, the Giants are unfortunately going to lose. They're going to have to wait for 1 more week, I think. It's going to be a very close game, but I think it's going to come down to who has the last possession. The Vikings are pretty strong when they have the ball last, so give me the Vikings to just barely win, though, 27-23.
All right.
So, I mean, I really hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Looks like yeah. Well, this looks like a great game on paper. You got Saquon Barkley, who is pretty much the best, if not the best running back in the league. I mean, this kid sounded. This guy is a baller. And of course, I like the combination of Kirk Cousins with Justin Jefferson and Adam hooked on a Thielen. And actually, this game is so good. This is what I'm going to call my point spread game of the week. I believe the Giants will just barely cover, but I'm taking the Vikings with the outright win. Give me the Vikings with the points, 30. The Vikings with the victory, 30-27. Vikings with the win, Giants with the points.
Oh, okay.
I think that is going to be a very interesting matchup to look at right there. Now we're going to go to the big razor blade, Gillette Stadium. The Patriots home against the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals come in at half-point favorites. So, Flynn, I asked the Lions for the NFC. How dangerous is the Bengals for the AFC?
The Cincinnati Bengals are the biggest threat to the Buffalo Bills in the AFC. When you look at Joe Burrow, you look at the receivers, you look at the defense, you have everything going for in Cincinnati's favor, and they get the gift of the schedule this week because they get the Patriots who found an amazing way to lose with the crazy lateral pass that Chandler Jones picked up. Ran back for a touchdown. So it was one of the dumbest and most embarrassing things I've ever seen. So I'll take the Bengals to win this game 27-13. All right.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, pretty much with this one, yeah, the Bengals control their own destiny here. They win this game, they are in. And yeah, they could also get in if the Jets lose. This one is, I think it's pretty straightforward. The Bengals currently have a great three in receivers. Their big three, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd. Very solid batch of wide receivers there. Joe Mixon, very solid running back. Pretty solid defense. I'm going to do it. I'm making this game is my lock of the week for the week. Give me the Bengals to win 26-19. I'm going to lock that up.
All right, so he's locking in the Bengals.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. So it looks like we have a lock for Mr. Natali. He's locking up the Bengals here.
Now just Tim's remaining.
Although I had another case of the audio problem. Just pick for this one. Yeah, I had the problems again. I didn't get Flynn's pick on this one.
He had the Bengals, but I forgot what score he said.
27-13.
Okay.
27-13 Bengals. Hey, man, I'll buy that. That sounds pretty good. But I'll take Cincinnati as well. They are pretty dangerous. I would agree that they are a big threat to the Buffalo Bills. Joe Burrow is just beginning to get set on fire. This guy is going to be so great. Meanwhile, the Patriots, I guess they're pretty much done. I mean, I think Natali said the Patriots are eliminated with some scenarios here.
I'm just to make sure.
Matter.
Yeah, no, they're not facing elimination this week.
The Bengals. Not this week. Okay.
No, Patriots are not facing elimination this week now. But the Bengals win, they're in. Or a loss to the Jets. Or a Jets loss, that's what I meant to say. Those are two scenarios to get the Bengals into the playoffs.
And I'll say the Bengals will get in because I am picking the Bengals over the Patriots this week by a score of 28-6. Okay, now we're going to go to Nashville, Tennessee. The Titans are going to be home against AFC South rivals, the Houston Texans. Flynn, the Titans are favored by 5.5 in this one. So what do you see?
This game was the toughest game of the week to pick, and I'm gonna pick the Titans to win against the spread. Against the spread was the toughest game of the week to pick. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm gonna take the Titans to win. I'm gonna take the Titans to cover. I wouldn't touch this game, but the Texans have been playing some pretty decent football the last couple of weeks. I mean, they almost beat the Cowboys, and they went to overtime against Kansas City. So the best case scenario is coming up for the Texans, where they're playing hard and losing to keep them on track for the number 1 pick in the draft. So I think this is this made it that much tougher. But the thing I remember in this game is Mike Vrabel against Lovie Smith, and Mike Vrabel I think is going to coach the pants out of Lovie Smith. So I'll take the Titans to win this game. I have them winning 21-14.
All righty then.
Yeah, my score is just about the same. Yeah, Titans are slowly improving a bit. Playoff team, probably not, but you never know. Yeah, we got one of the best running backs in the league, so hard to doubt him. So give me the Titans 25-14.
Yes, and for the exact same reasons that you guys have mentioned, starting to look decent. I'm hoping for a big game from Derrick Henry again. So this is a good one. Again, the Titans. Let's see here. Give me the Titans by a score of 30-24, and I am going to lock the Titans.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So I'm locking up the Titans on that one. Meanwhile, we're going to go to the games. Yes, we're still in Saturday right now. We got the 49ers at home against the Washington Commanders. Niners are 7.5-point favorites. So, Flynn, what do you see?
Yeah, now everybody saw what Washington was thinking when they traded for Carson Wentz in the offseason. Look, Taylor Heineke was a double agent against the Giants. I mean, he was terrible. Now you can argue the calls that were made against Washington in the fourth quarter of the game on Sunday night, like the egregious illegal procedure penalty called against Terry McLaurin, where McLaurin was asking the refs if he was properly lined up. He was, but then the refs called illegal formation on him, which negated the touchdown, and then the pass interference that should have been called on Darnay Holmes, on Curtis Samuel at the last play of the game. That was bad as well. But Washington was the inferior team, and the Tyrant now looks like a genius. I think for putting Washington in the cellar of the NFC East at the start of the season, and I think that's where Washington's going to wind up. So, yeah, I just think the 49ers. I think that they're playing at a really high level, and I think they're going to win. I think they're going to cover. It's going to be another Brock Purdy party in Santa Clara this weekend. I'll take the 49ers to win this game 27-17. All right, Natalie.
All right.
Yeah.
What are you seeing, Natalie?
Yeah, this is why I picked up that Brock Purdy character off of waivers. He might make a big splash. I'm actually very tempted to start him in our semifinal match.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
It's tempting. I haven't decided who I'm starting yet, but we'll see. Because this Mr. Irrelevant, I don't think he's irrelevant anymore. He's been very impressive. He's got a very good offense to back him up.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best tight ends in the league, George Kittle. And although Deebo Samuel has been faded away and injured, he still has other good options. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey is solid as a pass catcher. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk has stepped up. And the 49ers have the best defense in the league. So, yeah, I got to take the Niners on this one. What did I write down here? 31-21.
Yeah, and you're also forgetting about the coaching with Kyle Shanahan. D'Amico Ryans would have my vote for assistant coach of the year. I think he's going to be an NFL head coach next year. As maybe if the Cardinals have connections to him, or if the Saints have connections to him, I think they should reach out to him. All right, Tim, what do you got?
I'm going to get in here. I am going to take this guy, Brock Purdy. If he keeps playing the way he is, I mean, he could be probably the biggest sleeper of the whole league. I don't know if it's Carson Wentz. I don't know. I don't care if it's Taylor Heineke. Hell, I don't care if they even call Mark Rippon out of retirement. I mean, there ain't no way that the 49ers are going to lose to the Commanders here. Give me the Niners to win in this one. Give me the Niners by a score of 27-14. That's what I'm saying here. Oh, we have I have a question here. A very interesting one. It's late in the season right now. But viewer Roy Amaya says, honestly, guys, who wins the Super Bowl right now?
Oh, I want to see I want to see what Natalis say, because I have my takes. I want to see what his takes are.
If I had to make a call right now, I don't know. I'm leaning towards the 49ers. I've been back and forth all season. I initially had the 49ers winning it all in my initial predictions. Then I changed my mind on the Chargers. But right now, the 49ers are playing exceptionally well. I mean, the quarterback could be, I don't know if he's played enough games to qualify yet, but he could be rookie of the year even. Christian McCaffrey, him and Purdy are a solid 1-2 punch. Brandon Ayuk's been solid. 49ers have the best defense right now. Defense wins games. I got to give the edge to the Niners.
I'm still sticking with my preseason. I'm still sticking with my preseason prediction of the Buffalo Bills, because the Bills team that you saw on Saturday night is one that wins the Super Bowl. Now, the Buffalo came in as a 7.5-point favorite, but they didn't cover the spread. But they won the game based on the right arm of Josh Allen and the greatness of what's around him. So right now, the Bills are my favorite to win the Super Bowl.
So we got Natalie going with the Niners and Flynn going with the Bills. Wow. Can't really pick one right now, bro. I mean, Niners and Bills both sound extremely legit because both of these teams are playing legit. So I don't know what to say here. Oh, look who's in this week. It's one of my favorite Bengals fans. It's Mass Deadly Dashy. Where is he? Let's get him up here. Let's give him some love. And Dashy, if you're watching, you'll be happy to know that
we were all unanimous on the Bengals.
Bengals over the Patriots. So
and I made my lock of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we picked the Bengals over the Patriots. Yeah, Natalie locked up the Bengals. We all picked the Bengals. So, because like I said, the Bengals are pretty dangerous right now in the AFC. So
I'm the one with the most
Dashy,
confidence.
What's up, bud? Hope to see you tomorrow night. Oh boy. All right, let's try to motor our way through the rest of these here. Now we have what was the game of the year, except for the fact that a star quarterback is out, and we don't know for how long. This was supposed to be the game of the year. It is the Philadelphia Eagles against my Dallas Cowboys. It's at AT&T Stadium. The first line was Cowboys by 1, but now with the Hurts injury, the Cowboys are now picked by 4.5. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you someone who, even though I respect him so much, I cannot stand him. I would like to present to you Mr. Stephen A. Flynn.
Ooh, the alter ego.
Isn't it nice knowing that the Cowboys aren't going anywhere in the playoffs this year? Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice knowing for all the Cowboy fans that say we're going to win the Super Bowl? Well, have you seen Dak Prescott the last 3 or 4 weeks? Dak Prescott has thrown what 7 interceptions in his last 4 games, and including one against Jacksonville last week. One that was a pick 6 in overtime to win the game for Jacksonville. So I think everyone's talking about Jalen Hurts again. The difference between Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew. I think the matchup, and I think the story of this game is going to wind up being what the Eagles' defense does against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. The Eagles have the best secondary in football. You got James Bradbury and Darius Slay. You have a fantastic defensive line with the likes of Jordan Davis, Brandon Graham, and Fletcher Cox and Fletcher Cox and company. And I think it's going to be a game where the Cowboys are going to lose the turnover battle, and I think the Eagles, with Gardner Minshew's game management, allowing a punishing ground attack with Miles Sanders and Boston Scott to lead the way, and Minshew having the benefit of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't care if Jalen Hurts isn't in there. The Eagles have the better roster. They have I trust them more on defense. I trust them more when it comes to the offensive line and their ability to gel. So I'm going to pick the Eagles in an upset special to secure the number 1 seed of the NFC. Eagles 27, Cowboys 23.
Ooh.
All right, Natalie.
Yeah, this one was single-handedly the toughest game to decide for the week.
Go ahead and get that up from Mr. Flynn right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game.
All right, now let's go to Mr. Natali.
All righty. Yeah, this game was definitely the toughest one for me to decide because, we definitely don't although Hurts hasn't been formally ruled out yet, most likely he will be. We don't know what Gardner Minshew we're going to get. I don't really think he's that good. That's the main problem here. While the Eagles' defense hasn't changed at all, their offense definitely changes quite a bit, and you're probably not going to see the same play calling with him. I think Minshew is going to get roughed up a bit. He's going to be all wishy-washy. I think he's going to throw maybe a pick or 2. And his receivers will have a good game. Runners, maybe. But I don't know. Something tells me that Dallas is going to win this game. I think they're going to – where there's a will, there's a way. I think the Cowboys will win the game, but the Eagles are going to – their Cowboys will win, but the Eagles are going to cover. So I have the Cowboys 31-28. Rolling the dice, I'm giving to the home team.
Yeah, so he's got the Eagles with the points and the Cowboys to win. All right, Tim, what do you got?
All right. Well, to elaborate a little more on the comment that Mr. Flynn made, I read a statistic earlier today on Facebook, which is pretty staggering.
Hmm?
In the games since Dak Prescott has come back from his injury, he has thrown 10 total interceptions.
Jeez.
10 interceptions since he came back from his injury, which kind of makes you think that he may be still injured, but he's not telling anybody. And what is more shocking than that is that in that span of time, no other quarterback has thrown more than 5. No more than 5 interceptions in that period of time. So, yeah, Dak is having problems. And earlier this morning on the flagship Cowboy station, 105.3, The Fan out in Dallas, I heard Jerry Jones said that Dak Prescott played absolutely great.
oh, good.
Jerry, who the hell are you fooling?
Maybe now I have a reason. Now maybe I will bench Dak this week. We'll see.
I don't know. There's something I've always said. The one thing that is for sure about Jerry Jones is that nothing is for sure about Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever he's spouting out, I mean, I don't know if he's going to. He says Dak is playing great. No, I mean, 10 interceptions since he came back from the injury, that's a serious problem. And, of course, there's the ongoing matter with OBJ. Will he or won't he? But, I mean, there is a reason why the Eagles are the top team in the league. They have the best quarterback, best running backs, best offensive line, best defensive line, best secondary. But I got a feeling that the Cowboys are going to come out of shutdown mode like they've been the last couple of weeks. And Dallas is out for blood since going to Philadelphia earlier in the season. I'm seeing now. I say the Eagles will cover, but I say the Cowboys. Though, give me the Cowboys with a last-second field goal by Brett Maher, 33-30. Cowboys with the victory, but the Eagles with the points. And so we go to the Saturday night football game. It's going to be on NFL Network. It's Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are 2.5. So, Flynn, interesting matchup here. What gives?
I mean, I just think the Raiders are the better team now. I really like what Pittsburgh did. I thought they had a nice looking win against Carolina to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. But I think the Raiders are the better team here. I think they have the quarterback advantage in this game. I know Kenny Pickett's coming back, but I think this is a game where I think. You look at the Raiders, what they've been able to do the last few weeks now. Obviously, they'll never get over the 16-3 debacle against Baker Mayfield at the Rams. But I'll take the Raiders to win this game 19-16.
Kind of a toilet bowl game, sort of.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this one was tough for me. Yeah, both teams have some implications here. Whoever essentially loses is eliminated. Yeah, Steelers lose, they're out. Although there's other scenarios, even if they win, they could still be eliminated. I'm not going to get into that because it's too long. You guys can read the link if you want. The Raiders are also eliminated with a loss, and then maybe a combination of the Chargers winning. So this one was really tough. This one could kind of go either way, but I told myself, when in doubt, just give the edge to the home team. It was really like a coin flip. I'm just going to give the Steelers the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give them the win, just barely, 21-18.
Yeah, I'm going to, like Natalie says, in most games, this one could go either way. These teams are just about even, so when you got something as this, you got to give it to the home. I'll pick the home team. So give me the Steelers over the Raiders about a score of 23-20. Not too terribly that big of a score over here.
Mhm.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go into our 3-course meal of Christmas Day games.
Oh yeah.
Only 3 games on Sunday, Christmas Day, starting 1 p.m. Eastern with an interesting matchup between Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. They're playing in Miami, and the Dolphins are 4.5-point favorites. Flynn, I would definitely, I definitely watch this one too. This looks interesting.
Yeah, this is my third upset special of the night, Tim. I think the Packers found their mojo and they found their groove the last few weeks, and I think that's a problem for the rest of the NFC. I think the Packers, with Aaron Rodgers, with AJ Dillon, with Aaron Jones, and the way they're playing on defense, I think they have a great opportunity to win this game. And Miami is susceptible defensively, and I think Aaron Rodgers should be able to take advantage of that. So I'll take the Packers in an upset 34-31 over the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. If this thing will go.
Mm-hmm.
Here
Yeah,
we go.
this game, the Packers are essentially fighting for their playoff lives. Their elimination
Okay,
scenario.
Natalie.
Yeah, the Packers' elimination scenario this week is a loss and a Commanders win will get them eliminated. But however, none of us have the Commanders winning, so I think the Packers are safe this week regardless. And the Dolphins have had their share of issues recently. I think they have like a 4-game losing streak right now, if I'm not mistaken, or 3. But I think this is the day the Dolphins finally bounce back. They're going to get the monkey off their back. Packers are going to lose, but they're not going to be eliminated just yet. Yeah, Dolphins win. Packers are going to cover 26-22.
Here, yeah, Packers. They pulled it out last week, but somehow they're. But I guess this Dolphins team, I guess they're kind of younger a little bit. Of course, they got that young stud quarterback Tua time, and I think Tua and that Dolphin offense with my man Jalen Waddle. Got to do a little Waddle here. And he's been doing pretty darn good here lately. So and our man Alex Putnam, he of course big time Dolphins fan, fins up. He's going to be happy when he hears this from me. I am taking the Dolphins to win, but also I'm taking the Packers to cover. This is just going to be, let's say, 27-24. 27-24, Dolphins to win and Packers to cover.
Yep. So I put the rest of my picks in the private chat because I have to hang up.
All right, Flynn.
Oh yes, I did.
All right.
Merry Christmas, Flynn.
Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, buddy. All right. So right now, we're gonna move to the late afternoon Christmas matchup. It's the Denver Broncos against the Los Angeles Rams. The Broncos are coming in at 2.5-point favorites. So, Natalie, what do you see in this one?
Yeah, I think this is pretty much the definition of the toilet bowl game. Both of these teams are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. Neither one of them have anything to play for. So, yeah, this one's pretty much you could say it's a pick 'em here for all the wrong reasons. I'm going to go with the team that's probably just slightly better. I have the Broncos winning, but the Rams just barely covering, 18-16, the lowest combined point total for the week.
Yeah, that is pretty low. I will say that. Yeah, I don't see anything spectacular in this game. Both teams are pretty much now irrelevant. But if I have to pick a winner, I'm going to go with. I'm actually going to go with the. I have the wrong one right here, so I'm actually going to take Russell Wilson I guess Russell Wilson is injured, I guess. So, but it doesn't matter because I'm taking the Broncos anyway. Yeah, the Broncos over the Rams 24-21. Rams are going to be put out of their misery. I mean, last year they won the Super Bowl. This year, as I said, they've not been playing like a team that has won the Super Bowl last year. So like I said, give me the Broncos 24-21. And what is it? But Flynn is going with the Broncos 16-10.
Oh, man, another pretty low score.
Now, go to the Sunday night, Christmas night game on NBC. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Arizona Cardinals. Buccaneers coming in at 6.5. So what do you got?
Yeah, there really isn't too much to say about this one. The Cardinals are eliminated. They have nothing to play for. They might even be starting a third-string quarterback possibly since Colt McCoy is on the concussion protocol. So, the NFC South is still a mess right now. We might even know who wins the division until the last day of the season, possibly the way this is going. And the winner could be under 500 even.
Right.
Yeah, but the Buck, as bad as both teams are, the Bucks are still the better team. I'm going to take them to win this one. They're just barely going to cover though. It'll be 28-21.
20-21. Who you got?
The Bucks.
You got the Bucks.
Yep. Just barely covering.
I'll say this is a perfect time for whoever is in the who's starting right now. I mean, Kyler Murray is out.
Yeah. So right now,
McCoy is on concussion protocol.
Yeah, I don't even know who the third string is. I forgot the guy's name. I don't even know his name.
I don't either.
Yeah,
but,
I mean he was playing, but I don't remember the name.
I see a pretty good time here. This is not I mean, you may call me crazy on this one. I don't see that big of a game here, but
right.
Y'all call me crazy. I'm picking the Arizona Cardinals in an upset. This is my upset special of the week. I'm taking Arizona by a score 20-17. 20-17. Arizona is my upset special this week.
Very interesting.
I'll be crazy.
Wow.
And now we're going to go to the.
What did Flynn pick?
Oh,
what about
Flynn? Yeah, let's get. He's got the Bucks over the Cardinals 13-10.
Ugh.
He doesn't see that big of a game either. Yeah. Now we're going to go to the Monday night game after everyone's had their presents, after everyone's had their Christmas dinner. Monday Night Football on ESPN. Los Angeles Chargers and Indianapolis Colts. Chargers coming in 3.5-point favorites. So what do you got here?
Yeah, this was looking like a close game until that Jonathan Taylor injury. So now he's essentially out for the season. So that's just going to make matters worse for the Colts. I mean, the Chargers have a chance to clinch a playoff berth this week. I mean, they have to win and get some help from other teams. Even if they don't clinch right away, I think they're still going to win this game pretty easily. I have them winning 26-16.
So we have 26-16. Who you got?
The Chargers.
Okay, I too have got the Chargers to win this one. I got them winning and covering. I'm taking the Chargers 27-20. And according to Flynn, he has the Chargers over the Colts 34-23.
Okay. All of us have the win and the cover.
Yep, all of us with the win and the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it right there. That's the schedule for Christmas weekend. So I didn't even see if Natalia's going to be doing anything for Christmas. I don't know. What are you planning on doing?
Well, we're gonna, as far as I know, we're having some of our family members over my house. Probably have like, as far as I know, like an Italian Christmas dinner, basically. As far as I know, probably like chicken parmesan, ziti. That's the plan for now.
Ooh,
like an Italian themed dinner.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, I basically have 2 Christmas dinners to go to. Christmas Eve, my best friend, her parents are coming to, which is Dallas. They're coming in here to Longview. Going to have presents and have a steak dinner Christmas Eve. Then on Christmas Day, I'll probably have a little bit of leftovers from there after I go to Palestine, Texas, and visit my family, have Christmas there. And of course, if y'all remember the connection with the NFL and Palestine, Texas, that of course is where Adrian Peterson went to high school.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to do.
Very nice.
Oh, I gotta get this hung up.
The Cowboys talking. Nice.
I got my Cowboys stocking here. I got this. I gotta get this hung up outside my door. Maybe maybe my landlady might drop in with something a little nice for me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little credit to go toward my rent for next month. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, or maybe some candy. If she gave me some candy, maybe some Reese's peanut butter cups. I love those.
Oh
things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
That's the granddaddy of candy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for this special Christmas edition of Fantasy Football Fever. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, John.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah, and Merry Christmas to all of you. Be safe. Enjoy your time with the family.
And don't forget to watch John Flynn on Hooked on Sports.
Oh, yes.
Give it a little shout out to there.
Yeah, we got to do a shout out. We got the links down in the description area. Click one of those links and you'll get to Hooked on Sports.
Two nights a week. Of course,
join Pizzle. Yeah, 2 shows a week during the NFL season. And don't forget, I will be, of course, on the 4 Horsemen of Pignums on A Pizzle 90s channel with special guest picker John Flynn. I think that was supposed to be a secret, but I guess the cat's out of the bag. So, everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
Oh yeah.
Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Don't drive and drink, because we want you to come back next week for our New Year's Eve or almost toward New Year's show.
Yep.
We're getting close to the end of the regular season, and we're getting very close to the end of our fantasy season. So hopefully you people will come back and see us next week.
Yeah,
for John Flynn, for John Flynn, and for John Natalia, my name is Tim McClellan. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. God bless you. And as always, be a good sport. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
See ya. There we go.